Hi, I'm Dr. Gary Arthur from Laguna Beach. I'm a doctor of chiropractic and just working on finishing up my naturopathic degree as well. And this is Lunch with a Doc. And I might have to speak a little bit loud because we've got some traffic noise, but we're right here across the street from the ocean. And we're at Active Culture, which has great food, great frozen yogurt, and it's a great spot for locals to come and get a good meal. So what we're going to talk about today is the immune system and how the immune system works, and 5 things that you need to know to really help your immune system to work. And I love stories. Stories help us to remember things, and it's how history was passed down even through native cultures around the world. Is there would be stories. I wanted to tell you a story about one of my favorite immune system stories was about Christine Higdon, who was an 86-year-old woman, came into my office very frail, very weak, and I was washing my hands and I noticed she was coughing profusely out in the lobby, and so I saw when she was pulling her handkerchief away that it was bloody, and so I sat down next to her and kind of in a parental way I said, "Mrs. Higdon, I see there's blood on your handkerchief. I think you need to get to the hospital." And she responded back, "I've been in and out of the hospital for the last 2 weeks. I've taken every damn drug they've got, and for some reason it's not getting better. So if you don't think you can help me, I'm just going to leave right now." So she still had a lot of fight left in her. I said, "Mrs. Higdon, come on down the hall." Well, doing an integrative assessment and looking at the fact that our bodies are supposed to heal themselves, and when you think about, like I mentioned yesterday on the Health Tip Tuesday, that a healthy body makes 2.5 million red blood cells every second and 250,000 white blood cells every second. So every second, 250,000, 250,000. 4 seconds go by, you've got 1 million new white blood cells being produced in your system. So sometimes, why isn't our body healing itself? Because that's the natural thing for it to do. You cut yourself, it bleeds, a scab forms, and then a number of days later the scab falls off. So the body is programmed to heal. And so you think about that healing power that put those 2 cells together, and 9 months later out comes a masterpiece. The fact that there's 647 different functions of the liver. Our body is doing all these incredible things behind the scenes that we're never aware of. We're just thinking about what are we going to eat next and getting to work and playing with our kids or our wife or what have you. And oh, we got a good meal coming. Beautiful, beautiful salad. Thank you so much. Look at this, people. Look what they have brought. Good place to come for lunch. So therefore I wondered, why is it that she's done all these things and after 2 years she's not getting well? So what I suspected was that she may have a couple things stressing her body out. Well, what we did was when I did my assessment, we know that there's a structural component, a chemical component, an electromagnetic component, and a biochemical component. And after my evaluation, I knew that she had stress in each one of those systems. And so I put her on a regimen of some supplements and also got her off some foods that her body was indicating she was reactive to. And through this protocol that we did with her, 6 weeks later, she was all completely well. We also found that there was a lot of stress that she was carrying. She broke into tears when she told me when this all started 2 years previously had been when her husband of 67 years had passed away. And we know from Chinese medicine that the mind-body relationship of the lungs, it holds on to stress from grief and sadness and yearning and anguish and crying are all emotions that stress the system. And we also know that there's Dr. Candace Pert, who was a groundbreaker. She's the one who discovered and coined the term psychoneuroimmunology. We know that stress can affect our immune system. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through some of the key things to keep your immune system healthy. And so I know Maria's she's working on getting my iPad with some basic things. But today we're going to learn 5 basic things. what makes up your immune system and how it works, some non-negotiable nutrients that build immunity, 5 immune-destroying foods you should avoid. They actually are immunity death foods. 3 simple lifestyle changes that will skyrocket your immunity, and a missing link to really bolster your immune system. So why am I here? Why am I doing this? Well, I want to see people get well, get healthy. My dad died at 39. I had a lot of health challenges as a kid, from mercury toxicity and accidents, and had a lot of stressors, and I started to go through a lot of health challenges myself in college, and I really decided I wanted to turn it around for myself, and in the process really learn how to help people, other people do it too. So what is the immune system and how does it really work? Well, one thing we have is we have white blood cells, and we talked about white blood cells earlier. Killer B, killer T cells, very important for the immune response. They're called macrophages. They go and surround bugs, bacteria, viruses, yeast, different kinds of microbes. They actually can kill them off. You have your lymph nodes. Your lymph nodes are where the body, the white blood cells actually do a lot of their work. They're also in the bloodstream as well, but they can wall off things. So sometimes when you've gotten sick before, you might notice that you have swollen lymph nodes. Those are like body's little cells. Those are like the body's little jail cells to put those bugs and all the debris that happens when they get broken down into a little pocket to keep them from going through the whole system. You have your respiratory system. There's a whole immune response right there that's actually helping to make it so that if you breathe in someone's germs, that those germs aren't going to end up getting you sick. So we have an immune system. It's called a barrier between the bloodstream and the lungs. There's also a skin barrier. The skin helps to keep infections from getting in. That's why washing our hands is so important. And we also have the stomach and the intestines. White blood cells are there's more nerves in the GI tract than there are in the brain, and a lot of those are related to the immune system as well. And then we have the spleen that also assists the body in protecting itself against bacteria and other microbes. It filters the blood. So it's a network of interactive organs and cells that protect the body from viruses and bacteria and any foreign substance. And it works to neutralize and remove those pathogens. The standard immunity solution. We know that vitamin D is very important, vitamin C is very important, vitamin E is very important, vitamin B is very important, and your minerals like zinc, and just getting a good mineral product. These are some of the most important nutrients for your immune system. And there's much more, and vitamin D as well is really in the literature as being extremely important. And we have more data on that. So how does the body heal? Well, we talked about the body's a self-healing mechanism. Did the ointment heal it? Did the cast heal me? No, the body healed itself. That's what it's designed to do. Let's see here. So this is in wound healing. There's usually, once there's a breach or a trauma, let's say you got poked with a nail, there would be blood that would form, the blood would clot, then the inflammatory process happens where your macrophages get in and work through it. Fibroblasts are tissues that help to repair tissue. That's the inflammatory stage. And then your body starts to proliferate and repair, and then the body remodels itself and the wound actually heals. Same thing with a broken bone. It goes through these processes where the bone will actually heal. And that's really, in a nutshell, what the body should be doing. Here's some symptoms of poor immunity. Allergies, irritable bowel syndrome, celiac disease, asthma, ear infections, autoimmune diseases, low energy, fatigue, weight gain, skin problems, eczema, irritability, restlessness, frequent infections, respiratory issues, cold, flu, inflammation, constipation, lupus, which is an autoimmune problem. Those are a lot of the symptoms that people have from a weakened immune system. Let's not forget that the nervous system is what controls everything, especially the immune system. And the body is the most active to heal itself when it's in the rest and relax stage, called the parasympathetic stage. The fight or flight stage is called the sympathetic phase. The body is not really able to do a very good job of being able to heal us in that state. So if there's a grizzly bear chasing us, the body's not going to be focusing on getting rid of a virus or a bacteria, is it? It's going to be focused on running as fast as we possibly can and getting away from that bear. So it's at nighttime when the parasympathetic nervous system turns on that it actually is doing most of the healing. So the function of the nervous system is to perceive the environment and coordinate the behavior of all the cells. That's from Bruce Lipton, Stanford researcher. So how to boost your immunity without antibiotics. So we're talking about healthy nervous system function. We're talking about getting the nutrition that you need. We're talking about getting the rest that you need as well. And we're also, did any other charts come up? All right. And being, you know, in an environment where you're
everybody.
At peace. Hey, there's Mo. She's been trying to see if we could get the iPad to work to show you a few more charts. But the reality is our immune system is what keeps us alive, because we're all exposed to viruses, bacteria, funguses, yeasts, all the time. But it's the strength of our immune system that really is the key component to keeping us healthy and keeping us from aging very fast. And one other thing is, you know, in Europe now, antibiotics are usually only given in very serious conditions, life and death situations, because we realize that it suppresses white blood cell production. It can actually kill off a lot of the good bacteria that need to be there, that then can cause yeast to actually proliferate, and people can end up with candida yeast overgrowth, which isn't good for the immune system either. So my hope and my prayer is that this talk gives you a good, well-rounded approach to understanding how the immune system works. One last thing I wanted to add is the nervous system component. Dr. Roger Sperry won a Nobel Prize, and what he found is that since the brain, which is the central nervous system and the spinal cord, that 90% of the energy that's produced by the brain, which is a generator of the electrical life force that we live on, 90% of it is used just to relate our bodies to gravity. So just sitting here, moving our hands, standing, walking, 90% of the brain's energy is used for that. And that's if someone has normal posture. Only 10% of the energy from the brain is used to run our immune system and to do organ function and heal us and to repair us. That's why fixing our posture is so important, because if we have postural distortions from old injuries, let's say one shoulder's high, or the head is tilted one way too much, or it's way out front, or we've injured our low back and our low back is stuck and it distorts our posture, that means we're going to rob part of that precious 10% just to deal with
10%.
that body's lack of proper posture. So it's going to rob our healing capacity. That's why that nervous system is in there, fixing our posture, making sure the nervous system is flowing smoothly. Those things can easily be checked, you know, just with getting a basic exam, checking your posture, checking your range of motion, and looking at your postural x-rays and determining where you are. Because if you want to be healthy and have a healthy immune system, then that means your posture has to be where it needs to be to get that proper 10%. So
yeah. And we talked about subluxation.
We did. The subluxation basically means that the nervous system is not communicating with the body. There may be parts of your spine that are distorted, or parts that are putting pressure on that precious nervous system getting to the tissue.
So lifestyle things, you talked about nutrition and foods to stay away from.
Exercise is good. Keeping moving, keeping your body moving on a regular basis. Exercising is really important.
And yeah, I mean, the immune system is our defense, right? It's like if we don't have a healthy immune system, good luck trying to be healthy, right? Because there's toxins, there's pathogens, there's things that all of us get, but that's our defense system, is our immune system. So we got to make sure that's strong and healthy and working. And I think like really doing an assessment on your immune system, we can see with, lab tests like is it the THC and those kind of levels and all that?
Well, not THC.
Oh, sorry.
That's a different thing.
But, I was just talking to someone about CBD oil, so I'm like on that spectrum.
Thank you, Don.
See you, Don. Your T1, T2 levels, all that kind of stuff.
A good blood panel, a lot of times will look at the ratio of your neutrophils and lymphocytes. That can tell us a lot. Look at your white blood cell count. And there are much more advanced immune system markers that can be ordered. There's a lot going on nowadays to really determine where you're at, where you want to be, what kind of value you place on actually having a strong immune system and having the kind of quality of life that you want. So hopefully this has helped you in giving you some basics on Immunity 101.
Yeah, Immunity 101, the 5 secrets, so good. And then every Lunch with the Doc, we always give away a Lunch with the Doc special. So if immunity is something you've struggled with, you've had chronic illness, or like, let's just say a cough that won't go away, or just this kind of like sense of, I just get sick so often, I can't seem to get over it. Come on in and we'll do a workup on immunity and check out, what supplements you might need, or what's going to be most helpful for you, and where is
blood test would be indicated.
Where is that issue going on with your immune system? So we'll do a so normally that initial biochem is 150. So you can come in for 97 to do the immunity look and check out everything that's going on. So if you call in at Health and Balance and mention Lunch with the Doc Immunity, you'll get that $97 special. So
until the end of the week.
Till the end of the week.
And also, what's coming up in September?
Yes, September 20th, we have our Community Appreciation Day. So that's 2 weeks from tomorrow. It is the best event. I love it. It's my favorite part of my job. We open up the doors to all the community, all of our patients, and any new guests to come in and do free chiropractic adjustments, free therapy massage, free B12 shots as well. And then we also do half off our IVs and half off our detox for bats. We'll be running some raffles. We'll be supporting the L Foundation, which is an amazing patient of ours, Mara James. She started a foundation called Extraordinary Lives Foundation, and she supports children's mental health and wellness. So she'll be doing a book signing there of her book, Piggy Bear, and just a really cool foundation and all they do. So we're excited to support her. And then we also raise money for the integrative Dominguez Roth Integrative Medical Foundation, which is our very own Dr. Marcela Dominguez foundation that she started. She's a part owner of it, and they do amazing stuff. They're all about, combining alternative and conventional medicine and treatments for cancer, and hoping to prevent and treat cancer in natural ways. And it's really amazing what they do. So raising money for both those things, giving back to our community, and inviting everybody in. So bring your friends, bring your family, come enjoy a day of wellness. We'll have food.
What should she call? What would someone call to do that?
So you can call us at 949-497-2553 to make an appointment, or you can visit healthandbalance.com, go to our events section, and you'll find the event. You can sign up right there. You can request a treatment time, and the event is on first come, first served basis. So, whenever you come, there's a little bit waiting here and there. There's food, a bunch to do while you're there, but you can sign up for a spot, and we'll get you around then. So come on in and join us, and keep your immunity strong. You're amazing. Thanks for joining us today.
See you later. I'm going to have the spider salad.
And we love Active Culture. Great place to eat. Thanks, Active Culture, for having us today. See you later.